Just got off the plane and landed in Omaha, Nebraska, here for a conference for my company. And I was reading a book as I'm preparing for this weekend's webinar. You gotta check it out. There's details here in this post. But there's three things that most, not all, but most financial advisors don't want you to know. Here they are real quick. And you gotta check out the webinar this weekend, Saturday, 10:30. It'll be live on my page, and all details will be in the post. But the three things real quick. Number one is most financial advisors don't want you to realize that there's more than tax-deferred investments. This is huge, humongous, gigantic. There is actually tax-free investments. I know that sounds crazy. And when you think about tax-free investments, think bigger than a Roth IRA. Think about something called a life insurance product that has a tax-free vehicle inside of it. The second thing most financial advisors, not all, but most, don't want you to know is that life insurance is not just for the dead, but for the living. There is actually a ton of living benefits to having life insurance. You can use your death benefit right now if you have the right product in your life. Instead of using the bank, if you have cash accumulating in your life insurance product, the permanent product, you could actually become your own bank. The third thing that most financials, not all, but most don't want you to know about is long-term care. Long-term care is one of the most devastating things if you go into a long-term care need in life to somebody's portfolio. And they don't always tell you about that because they're trying to get you into their tax-deferred investment. And there is so much to understand about long-term care, but I don't know, if you're into accumulating wealth in life and assets, you want to leave a legacy to your children and grandchildren, long-term care is something that you definitely need to think about. So the fourth thing, but let me do a little review before I get to the fourth thing. The first thing most advisors don't want you to know is that there's more than tax-deferred investments, because you got to be careful. Tax-deferred investments, you're escaping today's tax event when you invest in tax-deferred investments for one tomorrow. But guess what? America's at the highest deficit we've ever been. The only way out of a deficit is to tax more and spend less. So all tax-deferred money is going to get murdered down the road. And so be careful. The second thing they don't want you to know is that life insurance is not just for the dead, it's for the living. The third thing they don't always tell you about is how important long-term care is into your investments, essentially, because you can invest all you want in tax-deferred, and you can put all this money in stocks and 401ks and mutual funds, but if you don't protect your assets, guess what? When you get to a situation where you or your spouse needs long-term care, your money is gonna go out the window as fast as it can go. And the last thing that they don't tell you about is how to have a tax-free retirement. So check out the webinar this Saturday, 10:30 a.m. All the details are here. See you soon.